Hey everyone, Josh Veldman here with Nest Mortgage Group giving you another market update. So just a quick recap of last week. Last week we had a couple reports that came out that is worth noting. So one we talked about last week was going to be the PCE report, which stands for Personal Consumption Expenditure. It's the Federal Reserve's favorite measure of inflation. So we had expected that would come in and we'd see an increase month over month, but a decrease year over year. And that's exactly what happened. So the year over year, we went from 5.5% inflation down to 5%. So definitely starting to make some progress in that end. However, the market didn't have any sort of volatile swing one way or another. It stayed pretty steady, which is okay. It just means that the market's starting to kind of accept and digest this information without having major swings with information. So a very good, favorable report on that. So we hope to continue to see inflation continue to trickle down and improve month over month and year over year, which would really help bring the interest rates down. Also, another surprise is that we had our pending home sales report came in better than expected. It's actually the first time we've seen an increase. So pending home sales had risen for the first time in 6 months. So I was a little shocked and surprised by that information, considering December is our slowest month. And so it was good to see that we're starting to see a little bit of progress on the pending home sales. Along with that, we did see an increase as well by, it looks like 2.3% month over month for new home sales. So pending home sales, new home sales, both seeing an increase, starting to see some good favorable data showing that the housing market isn't, we're not crashing. We're not coming to a complete halt. If anything, we're starting to gain a little bit of more traction going the other way. So we'll see if we can continue that momentum as we get the following month's data. All right, so what do we got to look for this week? There's a couple of things. So first and foremost, the Federal Reserve is meeting this week. They meet on Tuesday and Wednesday, and they are expected to talk about another rate hike. As of right now, the expectation is another 0.25% hike. So we're hoping that that's the end of it. And then that's, we're not going to see any additional after that. And the damage essentially is done, right? As inflation is starting to come down. So what happens when they announce the rate hike is really, so the market's going to respond not so much by the rate hike itself, but more or less the tone that they talk, how they're talking afterwards. So when the Fed starts talking about what they're expecting to have happen, and if there's going to be additional increases, that's where the market's really going to start seeing some more volatility. So as of right now, the 25 basis points is expected, and we'll see what they end up doing on Wednesday. Also this week, we're going to get some data on jobless claims, new jobs created, and on the unemployment rate. So again, these are all things that give us a good pulse on where we're at from an economic standpoint. If we do see less jobs created, higher unemployment rate, that's going to help really support the fact that we're going into a recession. And again, when we go into recessions, that brings that inflation down, which then in turn brings mortgage rates down, which does have a tendency in the long run to help bring a stronger housing market as well. So that's kind of what we're looking at. That's the data we're tracking. If you have any questions on any of this, please let me know, and I'd be glad to go in more detail. If you are considering looking to purchase, or if you're a realtor listening to this and you have a client that's getting ready to purchase, please reach out. We're getting pre-approvals done same day. We're getting through loans in 30 days or less. If somebody's putting 20% down on a purchase, we might be able to have the appraisal waived. So just a lot of good things happening. And again, we're seeing an increase in pre-approvals, which just tells me that there are more buyers getting ready to come into this soon-to-be spring market. So if you're considering it, or you have someone on the sideline, please get that process started early. Be happy to help. Other than that, have a great week. Take care.